everyone. This is Mrs. Pridey, and if you notice in the back, some of you may remember my friend McKenna from Twisted Creek Ranch from one of your previous field trips. And I am here with my pony Sonia, and we are going to go over some of the basics of driving. As you can see, she is all hooked up to a new school buggy, which is a little different from the original back 100 years ago. Just want to point out a couple things on her. So when you're driving a horse, she has a harness on, and that's how she is connected to the actual cart. And part of that harness includes this piece, which we refer to as the blinders, because it stops her from seeing the cart itself. There are some horses, if any of you have ever watched Black Beauty or any other movie, that they're a little reactive when they see the cart being pulled behind them. She is not, but it is a standard piece on the harness so that they cannot see as much behind them. And then it's all connected to the cart. I have a nice two-seater cart, and we will be going for a ride as soon as I explain a few things.
Thank you, Sonia.
All right, so McKenna is going to get Sonia walking while I explain a little bit about how driving works. So with driving, you have 2 different kind of walks and 3 different kind of trots. And those of you with horse knowledge, traditionally in driving, you do not canter or gallop. You just walk and trot. And, fun fact, in the movies, when they slap their butts with the reins and say, "Yeehaw!" to get them to go, that is not what you want to do. The reins are connected to their mouth, so if you can just imagine your mouth being pulled in different directions when that happens, it kind of hurts. So we don't do that in the cart. As you see, she has a whip kind of sticking up in the air at a 45-degree angle, and that is what she cues with. It's not meant in any harm. It doesn't hurt Sonia. It's just an extension of her hand to tap her, as well as an extension of her voice. And Sonia mostly works on voice cues. All right, so she is going at our first pace, a very flat-footed, relaxed walk with no energy in it. She's kind of walking along. And then if she picks her up a little, you'll see that her pace increases a tiny bit, not a whole lot. But that is our second walk. It's more of a power walk, so to speak. And for those of you that don't remember or don't know, Sonia is 34, which is not young at all. And she doesn't necessarily like the whole power walking thing. She would prefer to go faster or slower. All right, our next gait up is called the jog. And it is a 2-beat pace that is nice and slow, kind of like when you are warming up for gym with Mr. Weaver. You go in, I know sometimes you guys play games, but sometimes you just run laps around the gym. As you can see, it's nice and relaxed, nice and slow. In our performance horse world, the slower you are doing this 2-beat jog, the better it is. Our second trot pace is a working trot. That's your standard trot, kind of like after you've warmed up and gotten moving. You're able to travel just a little faster and still that 2-beat pace. If you look at her feet, you see her diagonal legs moving at the same time. Most of the time, dogs and cats also move this way when they are running to catch up to you or running to play. And our last trot is called the extended trot. It's like as if you had just gotten tagged and you want to run and tag someone else. You want to go as fast as you can, but still at that diagonal feet moving 2-beat pace. So on the long stretch of the wall here, McKenna is going to go ahead and do that. As you can see, she's moving just a little faster. Her head is tossing because she doesn't like this. She would rather canter than do this trot, but you know, at 34, you kind of get to decide to a degree what pace you're going. So she's going to try again on this long wall to get Sonia up to that faster pace. So you can kind of see a definite difference there. And then she'll go back down to the middle trot. So in total with driving, we have 5 different gaits: a slow walk, a fast walk, a slow jog, a medium trot, and a fast trot. Go ahead and stop her. And we're gonna go ahead and warm up Sonia, go in the other direction, because there's a significant difference between Sonia and us humans. We have what we call monocular vision, meaning our eyes are close together, so we see straight out in front of us, and we normally have to turn our head to see behind us or to the side. Horses have binocular vision, meaning their eyes are on the side of their head, so they see out to the side the best. They can't see directly in front of them, and they can't see directly behind them, but they can see pretty much their entire side. And some horses will have moments where if they see something with their right eye, they're okay. They see something with their left eye, they're not okay. So we just want to make sure that she is nice and relaxed and comfortable going the other direction. So McKenna's gonna turn and go the other direction. And as she moves at the different gaits, I'm gonna see if you guys can guess or try to determine if she's doing a slow walk, an energized walk, a jog trot, a working trot, which is the medium trot, or an extended. So a couple things about these different gaits is at the walk here, you see you can count all 4 of her feet one at a time, picking up and traveling. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that just keeps repeating again and again. And the trot, as I said before, is your diagonal feet moving, kind of like how our walk and our running pace is a little different. All right, so of our 2 different walks, does this one look more energized to you or more slow and relaxed? So if you are saying at this moment that it's more slow and relaxed, you would be correct, because that is what I see as well. Although now that she's been trotting a little bit, she does have more energy. All right, McKenna, go ahead and choose a 2-beated pace. So as you remember, there are 3 different style trots: the super slow jog, the working trot in the middle, and the extended, which is as fast as you can go. So which one do you think this is? If you guess the medium pace of the working trot, you would be correct. It's a nice working pace to get from point A to point B, and not as fast as she can go. Or choose another one. So of this pace, which one do you think it is? As you can see, it is still 2 beats, so it is still considered a trot, but she has significantly slowed down. So that would be the jog trot, the first of the 3 trots. All right, last time, go ahead and choose one more gait. It doesn't, of any of the 5 options. So if you guessed the extended trot or the faster of the trots, you would be correct. She can go faster, but that was pretty good. Again, as we know, she's 34, and I don't know about you, but my grandma does not run very fast at times, so. All right, before we get in to go for our own ride, there are a couple other things that you can do when you are driving. Not only do you have forward, but you have reverse. So McKenna's going to go ahead and back her up.
Thank you. Good girl.
And if you have experience of watching how driving a car works, you know, it's not, backing up is easy, and turning is also not too difficult. With a cart, there are so many pivot points because Sonia can bend in the middle of her, and there's a flex point with the cart itself, so it's pretty easy to start wanting to back up straight and turning to the right or left. The other thing that you can do in a 2-wheeled cart, like what I have, is a wheel pivot, where in this case, that wheel, the one closest to us, so the right wheel, stays still as McKenna turns around.
Had to go the hard direction. Pivot. Pivot. Up. Pivot. Pivot. Good. Pivot.
180 is fine. So as you can see, pretty much that wheel didn't move. It moved a tiny bit, but not a whole lot. All right, so now McKenna is going to scoot over, and I'm going to climb in, and we are going to go for a ride so you can experience what it feels like. And when we are a passenger in a driving cart, we follow the European rules, and the passenger sits on the left-hand side. All right, go ahead.
Walk. Good girl. The pivot wasn't bad for having not done it in a while. It's kind of impressed.
And the ground here is definitely a little bumpy. It's been worked. Other horses have been in here riding and working around. So you might get a different view as she jostles around. All right, so this is her steady walk, the number 1, the slower, more relaxed walk. We're gonna go ahead and pick her up to the working trot. Trot. Pick it up. Pick it up. Pick it up.
I know, we got heavier. She's like, what is going on? Girl.
And when we approach the other short wall, McKenna's going to turn on the diagonal and change directions, all at the working trot.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Pick it up.
Because as I said before, when you work one direction, you have to be nice and work the other direction too.
Pick it up. Hey. Pick it up. Come on. She's getting tired. Pick it up.
All right, and now we're gonna see if she will do the extended trot
Pick it up.
so that you can feel what that feels like.
I'll do it on that wall. It's probably a little bit flat.
I don't know if you can tell, but the footing that we are driving in here is like a giant sandbox. Sonia has fun
Pick it up.
in it.
Hey. Thank you. And pick it up. Pick it up. Pick it up. Pick it up. Hey, watch yourself. Pick it up.
So here we are at the extended trot.
Kind of. Good girl.
All right, we're gonna go to the walk.
Walk. Good girl.
And Sonia's appreciating that pace now. She's a little tired. And about halfway down this long wall, we're gonna stop and back up.
Ooh. Back. 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 You're straight. Back up.
And
Back.
finally, before we end, we're gonna try, you can walk forward a couple steps, a
Walk.
left wheel pivot, which is the direction that we are sitting,
Ooh.
so you can experience what that feels like while we are
Ooh. Hey.
in the
Ooh.
cart.
Hey, back up. Oh. Oh, God. Pivot. Pivot. Pivot.
Very different
Pivot.
view sitting back here.
Pivot. Pivot. Pivot.
This is good.
Ooh. Good girl.
All right. I hope that you enjoyed learning a little bit about driving with McKenna and I and Sonia.
Hey.
And if you have any other questions about how driving works or anything horse related, you are welcome to ask me. I love sharing my knowledge of how to work with and ride and drive horses. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Diffendoofer and field day, and I look forward to when I can see you again.